Hey fam and beloveds, thanks for coming back. For my new viewers, my name is Elle. Thank you and welcome. Today I'm going to jump right into it because there's so many things going on in the sky and energy wise. I wanted to come to you before the fall equinox and give you information about the energy that it will bring in, and also give you a little brief information about the energy that we are in and how it plays a part and contributes to the energy of the fall equinox. So, today is September 22nd. Tomorrow, September 23rd, we will be experiencing the fall equinox at 4:21 a.m. if you are in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. If not, add or subtract whatever hours you need to so that you can get the exact hour and minutes that you will be experiencing the equinox. So anyway, the earth spins on an axis, and that's like a tilt. The tilt of the earth's axis is approximately 23.5 degrees. Now I want you to remember 23 because it plays a huge part in everything that is happening during the astronomical event of an equinox. The Earth's axis is neither 23.5 degrees away from the sun, nor is it 23.5 degrees towards the sun. What happens during an equinox is the Earth spins on its axis, and the axis is just straight. It's just straight. And because it's straight, the rays of the sun are able to hit the axis points on the earth at a perpendicular angle. Not only does the sun hit the earth's axis points on a perpendicular angle, but it also hits the equator on a perpendicular angle. The equator is the imaginary line on the earth that equally separates the northern hemisphere from the southern hemisphere. During an equinox, both the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere receive an equal amount of sunlight. So basically, what will happen tomorrow is that there will be an equal amount of hours of the sun as there will be an equal amount of hours of night. So day and night are balanced, they're equal. Like I said, the axis of the axis of the earth will not be tilting towards 23.5 degrees. So 23 is a very significant number. And let me explain to you why. And I have some notes also, because there's a lot of information. And like I said, I wanted to make it as practical as possible, but I also wanted to be detailed enough so that you will understand. The equinox happens on September 23rd, tomorrow. Some websites may tell you that if you're in Eastern Standard Time, some websites may tell you that it happens at 4:21. Some may tell you 4:22. Some may tell you 4:23. But the mere fact that the equinox is occurring on September 23rd is extremely significant in and of itself for many different reasons. So let me break it down to you. 23 has two different distinct energies associated with it because it has two numbers. It is a combination of 2 and 3. 2 resonates and represents duality. It represents balance and cooperation, faith, duty, service, your divine purpose, and your soul's mission. 3 represents joy, optimism, self-expression, growth, encouragement, assistance, manifestation, or manifesting, and is also associated with the ascended masters. And actually 3 happens to be one of my favorite numbers too. So when you combine these two numbers together with the separate energies that they carry and resonate, 23 vibrates with a message of community and society, service, angels, the ascended masters associated with your faith and your trust in the universe. And actually, faith and trust in the universe is one of the major themes of September. Okay, so now my hmms are like connecting the dots, okay? Not only does it represent faith and trust in the universe, it also represents manifesting your highest desires, your aspiration. 23 encourages us to be and to use our natural talents and our natural abilities to bring forth happiness, joy, creativity, service, union, cooperation amongst our mind and heart and amongst the relationships that we have with others and society. It brings about communication, honesty, and an optimistic outlook, and it fosters balance and a harmonious life. So those are the energies that come along with 23. Now, if you add the 2 and the 3 together, you get 5. And all of this information about the numbers is numerology. So 5, the number 5, resonates with the energy of personal freedom, individualism, non-attachment, major life changes, life lessons, learning through experiences, making important life decisions, having the courage to make important life decisions that you may not have been able to before, being motivated to do the things that you know that you should do, taking responsibility for yourself. It 5 resonates with the energy of telepathy and healing, and 5 actually is also the number of Oshun, which happens to be the Yoruban goddess that I am so absolutely in love with. Oshun is directly associated with Hathor, which is the ancient Egyptian goddess of life. Hathor happens to be the mother of Horus, and Horus is the sun god. Try to remember all of this because it plays a significant part in the energy of the of the equinox, because the equinox deals with the sun, Horus, the sun god. So I'll go into that later. So yes, 5 also deals with better opportunities coming your way, making better choices, allowing yourself to make the choices that you need to make so that you can live in your path, live your soul's purpose. So now, tomorrow, which is 9/23, the sun goes into the sign of Libra until October 22nd. And basically, the sun will be joining Mercury Retrograde in the sign of Libra. If you don't know anything about Libra, let me just give you some brief information about Libra. Libra is the sign that is associated with balance. It's associated with equality. It's associated with the scales. It's associated with judgment. It's associated with being able to cooperate with yourself and with others. So being that the sun is in Libra, that is also a huge amount of energy that is coming in to us in the sign of Libra, because like I said, Mercury is also retrograde in the sign of Libra. Now, if you did not have the opportunity to watch my vlog about Mercury being retrograde in Libra, please take a few minutes to do that. I'll give you some brief information about it now also. Being that Mercury is retrograde in Libra, what is the energy that encompasses that is the energy of us taking the time to sit back and contemplate, to revise, review, rethink, reanalyze, research the things that we have done with regards to how we think and behave ethically, how we balance ourselves, how we balance our ego and our soul, how we balance the relationships that we have in our life, whether they be romantic and or business wise. Libra in retrograde, it allows us the time to sit back and think about the things that we have done and figure out if they're balanced or not. And it gives us the opportunity to learn from our lessons and our interactions with others so that we can take that information and use it in the future so that we can be more on the balance side. Now, the symbol of Libra is, it looks like a sun rising and setting, and then there's a straight line underneath it. It's basically a scale, and Libra also represents the scales of justice. Basically. So, being that the sun is in Libra, if you know nothing about what the sun represents or what the sun is about, let's think about it like this. The sun in the sky provides light, warmth, power, energy to all planets and all species that inhabit the planets. The sun represents our inner soul, our purpose, our life purpose. The sun represents power. It represents the motivation to do the things that we need to do. The sun represents growth. And the symbol of a Libra, when you look at the symbol of a Libra and you think about the sun being in the sign of Libra, it represents and brings about the energy of your soul being more balanced, you being able to think about things that you have experienced and grow from them in a more balanced way with regards to your soul. The picture of the sign of Libra may also represent the sun rising and then setting. And that represents the journey that all human beings go through spiritually. We have to, like, everybody loves when we are on top of the world spiritually, financially, emotionally, in every aspect of our lives. But a lot of us don't seem to see the benefits of when we may be in that darker or descending period of our souls. And that darker or descending period of our souls allows us to grow. Now think about it like this also. When you have seeds and you want them to grow, they have to go into the dark of the dirt in order to grow. And that's the same thing that happens to our sun, our soul. So the sun being in Libra, it's like we ascend, our souls ascend to the highest point, and then our souls descend, and we go into the darker period where we learn and we grow our spiritual lessons. And that is part of what the equinox is about. The equinox, the fall equinox, brings about a time when the northern hemisphere has less hours of sunlight, and the southern hemisphere is actually going into the season of spring where they have more hours of sunlight. So for those of us who live on the northern hemisphere, what happens is our sun has risen, and now we're going into the period of winter where there's less sunlight for us, where there's less um, where there's less light shining on things. And this allows us the time to sit back and think about all of the things that happened during the course of the year before the equinox. The fall equinox allows us to reap everything that we have sown in the spring, and it allows us to gather all of our spiritual knowledge that we have learned for the other part of the year and take it into this time period where there's not so much sun, where we are in the period of darkness and growth, and actually just take all of that information, all of our experiences, and just sit on them and in the darkness and contemplate about how can all of this stuff really help me. It's like our soul's death. And death is not in a bad way. It's more of a, we have to let go of those things that
It's
don't
9
serve.
o'clock.
I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, but anyway, the equinox is a period of time. The fall equinox is a period of time for us where we harvest all of our experiences, whether they be something that we like or don't like, but we are able to harvest them and gather them all together and look at the things that we might not necessarily have benefited from or that didn't serve us a purpose, and let go of them. Think about it in terms of when the fall comes, you see the vegetation dying. You see the leaves changing colors. You see the leaves falling, and we have to like gather them up and throw them away because they don't serve the earth any purpose. If we just left them, it would just be garbage all over the place. But it makes more sense to rake up all of the leaves that are on the lawn and throw them away. Put them in their proper place. We don't need them anymore. They have served their purpose. They're dead. They fell to the wayside. So the same thing happens to us spiritually during the fall equinox. We we see all of the changes that we have gone through. We see all of the growth that we have gone through, and what doesn't serve its purpose falls to the wayside, and it's our responsibility to sweep it up and put it in a garbage bag and throw it out so that we can make space for newness, so we can make space for growth. So during the time of the winter, when there's not so many hours of sun for us, we're in that period of growth. And because we allowed ourselves to identify what we no longer need, when everything was falling apart, when we were sitting back and thinking about things, this gives us the opportunity to make the space for the things that we really want, to set the intention for the things that we really want and need, to plant the seeds of our spiritual growth and development, plant the seeds for new relationships and connections. And the energy of the sun being in Libra Mercury being in retrograde, and also Saturn being in Sagittarius helps us along the way so much. And not to mention the numbers 2 and 3 and the combination 23, and then the number 5, like it all falls into place. This whole time period is about, and the energy is about having faith and trust in the universe and your spirit guides and the angels and whoever you believe in spiritually. You have the trust and the faith in the powers that be, that the lessons you've learned and the things that you are going to implement into your life because of the lessons you've learned will all work out for the betterment of you. And those numbers in numerology actually play a huge part in that, because those numbers are a representation of the fact that this is exactly what is going to happen. So I think that's just like really, really beautiful how the equinox and the numbers 23 and the sun being in Libra, Mercury in retrograde, Saturn in Sagittarius all complement each other. Saturn in Sagittarius is about us taking responsibility for ourselves, wanting to learn new ways to overcome the challenges that we have faced, being brave enough, like the numbers were telling you. What number was it? It was number 5, represents the energy of being brave enough and having the courage to learn life lessons and to live your passion. The number 5 also represents positivity and positive energies, and trusting that the opportunities that you have to sit back and think about what happened to you will turn into some great things for you in the future. All of these things are just like, it's just so synchronistic of our soul's evolution and ascension. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, to put a little bit of icing on the cake, this is what's also happening. Tomorrow, September 23rd, the Pope is supposed to be coming to New York. And I'm not following what's going on with the Pope. I never followed what was going on with the Pope. I don't watch the news. I just don't. But the mere fact that collective consciousness, the collective consciousness of the planet is so interested in what the Pope is doing. That collective consciousness focused on the idea of who and what the Pope is supposed to be, like a spiritual figurehead, actually plays into this energy also, because what is happening is, regardless of if you are aware of him or what's going on with him or what he represents or whatever the case is, because more people on the earth are focusing on him and the beautiful message that he brings, and the energy, the beautiful spiritual energy that he brings, what is happening is this energy is opening up people's heart centers, and it's opening up their mind so that they think differently. Hence, Mercury being in retrograde in the sign of Libra, which allows you to think out of to think out of the box and to be cooperative. Sagittarius, Saturn in Sagittarius also does the same thing, because Saturn is the energy of being responsible and wanting to be responsible. It's the energy of following the rules. But Sagittarius is the energy of thinking outside of the box and being adventurous. So it's just, like I said, all of these energies and these signs and what they represent, the planets and what they represent, it's all synchronistic to us taking responsibility, having faith and trust, and also learning from our experiences, going into that dark space, thinking about how we have learned from our experiences and growing from all of that internally, and also externally with regards to the relationships that we have with other people. So, to move on, it's crazy. So we spoke about the Pope and how he's coming in tomorrow. Another significant amount of energy that is coming into us is with regards to a portal that is opening up starting tomorrow. This energetic portal will be open from the 23rd to the 28th. And the portal is associated with Lord Ganesha. Now, depending on what you read and who you know and what you learned, you may pronounce it differently. It may be Lord Ganesh, it may be Lord Ganesha. But this deity represents the Hindu elephant, the Lord of destruction, some believe, the Lord of removing obstacles, the Lord of opportunity, the Lord of power. Lord Ganesh also rules, oh, pardon me, see, that's my son. Come in. Oh, I'm recording, son.
Come on.
My son is so sweet. His birthday happens to be on the 27th, which is the super full moon total lunar eclipse. Go figure, right? So, yeah, I'm sorry for that interruption. So, Lord Ganesh's portal of love, opportunity, strength, honor, stability, patience, cooperation, removing obstacles, opportunities is opening tomorrow as well, and it will be open until the 23rd. This falls like directly in line with the energy of the eclipse that we will be experiencing on the 27th, the equinox that we will be experiencing tomorrow, the collective conscious energy that is associated with the Pope, Mercury in retrograde in the sign of Libra, and the sun in Libra, because this energy that is coming into us in such an abundant amount is allowing us to be able to overcome the challenges that we may not have been able to overcome before. And all of those other energies are also helping us look at the challenges in a different way. Libra is definitely, Libra and Mercury retrograde are definitely allowing us to look at things in a different way. And this energy is helping us to overcome the challenges and have more opportunities, just like the numbers 23 and 5 are, as well as having the faith and trust that we need, which is also associated with 23, 2, 3, and 5. So I'm going to keep on repeating that it's all synchronistic, and it all blends into each other so beautifully and nicely, because we are being gifted all of this energy so that we can ascend. So, and those who, what is going to happen is some people are going to be, everybody's going to be affected by this energy, but some people are going to be so frightened because the energy is also taking that veil away. It's taking away the illusion of what is happening. It's bringing our heart centers out. It's allowing our souls to be more present. It is allowing us to see the truths of what really is. for ourselves. And it's helping us to break down the conditions that we have been living through and under. It's helping us to break down that illusion that we have been surrounded by, that veil that's in front of us with regards to everything, including our beliefs. And when people's beliefs and their egos are challenged, they start to get scared. A lot of people start to get scared, and they think that they're going crazy, or they might be seeing things or hearing things, and all kinds of crazy things can happen. They might get angry. They'll project their anger or their fear on you, and all of this is a form of letting go of what no longer serves them. Now, if you have experienced this personally for yourself, or if somebody in your circle experiences this and they project it on you, I suggest that one of the things that you do is step back for a minute. Use Mercury retrograde time to step back and look, like keep on re-looking at the situation, because it's really based on fear of the ego breaking down. It's based on fear of the veil becoming thinner and thinner and thinner. And our egos will hold on to things that we just know is definitely true, but is not necessarily true. Now, like I said, if this is happening to you, or if this is happening to somebody around you and they're projecting that energy on you, step back for a minute. Have faith and trust in whatever it is that you are doing or trying to accomplish, because this is the time, this is the time to have faith and trust. This is the time to listen to your guides, to listen to your inner soul. Listen to your I am Christ consciousness. Listen to the I am that I am. Listen to your heart. It is not the time to allow others or your ego to determine what will and will not happen, because this is an energy of infinite possibilities. This is the energy of overcoming obstacles, and one of the obstacles may be just that that your ego is like slowly dissolving. So be patient with yourself. Definitely be patient and do things to encourage your soul's purpose to be more present for you. Do things that you love to do. Do things that make you feel good and that foster the feelings of love, and also foster the feelings of growth. And if you don't experience this, but you see people experience it around you, it's also kind of sort of your responsibility to help them, through it. I mean, like, you don't have to necessarily dictate anything to them, but you can gently explain to them what's happening so that they will feel more comfortable and understand that this is what is supposed to happen. We are supposed to be experiencing things that may not necessarily be comfortable to us with regards to our egos, because all of this stuff has to come up so that we can get rid of it. Like the equinox, all of this stuff has to change. It has to fall so that we can rake it up and put it in the garbage and get it out of the yard, so that we have room for the beautiful spring to come. When the spring equinox comes, we have room to plant the seeds that we need in the winter, so that when spring comes they could sprout up. This all comes into play now. It's our responsibility to identify these things in ourselves and check them and throw them out. And it's also our responsibility to help our loved ones if we see them experiencing it. Now, helping them could also be just listening. I mean, like, you really have to determine how to help the person. A lot of people are not receptive to, hey, let me tell you what's happening energetically. Some people are more receptive to, if you get what I mean. Sometimes you just have to, step back and be like, I'm not going to say nothing to this person because I know what's going on. And if I do say something, then there's a possibility that their energy might rub off on me and I might start doubting myself, or I might start thinking a certain way, like maybe I should just say a prayer for them. Even that is also considered help. So that's how the energy of Lord Ganesha comes into this also. Lord, this energy, this influx of energy is like helping us remove the obstacles, working with our root chakra. Some other stuff that's happening that's extremely important with regards to this energy is now the equinox is about balance, and this energy also gives us the opportunity to find more balance in our life. And when you speak about spiritual balance, it could be a plethora of things you're talking about. Being able to balance your work life with your spiritual life, being able to balance the yin and yang within you, being able to use the Mercury in retrograde to foster transmutation and transformation, which in turn will allow you to use both your mind and your heart to balance out your spiritual path. Not only your spiritual path, but your life in general. So use the energy of the equinox to help you balance. Because like I said, the equinox is all about having balance between the northern and the southern hemisphere, both having an equal amount of light hours and an equal amount of night hours, day hours and night hours. So use that energy. Also, I was reading a website and it was saying that from September 14th to September 24th is a period of time, and it's a 10-day period of time in which we are to set our intentions for what we want, to clear out the space of what we don't want, to plant the seeds of newness and growth, to think about the things that no longer serve us so that we can get rid of them and have the space and the room for the things that we do want, all of the wonderful opportunities that are coming our way. This, I could just continuously keep on talking about all of the different energies that are associated with this time period, all of the different ways that they work together, all of the different things that's happening, but there's so many things. I've already been talking for a good 40 minutes, and I don't want to confuse you any more than I probably already have, but I definitely wanted to give you this information because it's really important. To sum everything up, the equinox allows us the time spiritually to have balance. When we go into the season of fall, it's more like a season of hibernation where we have gathered all of the information about all of our experiences, whether we like them or not. And it gives us the opportunity to revise them, review them, do research on them. And this energy also comes from Mercury being in retrograde in the sign of Libra. It allows us to balance out everything. It allows us to be more of service to ourselves and others. The energy in Saturn and Sagittarius makes us feel like we want to take responsibility for ourselves, to look at the things that we have experienced and to find a different way of maybe taking responsibility for our future. Sagittarius is about knowledge and adventure and doing things that are new that you might not necessarily have done before. So this energy will allow us to in the equinox, because we're still in the energy of Saturn and Sagittarius. We'll be in this energy for the next 2.5 years. This allows us to look at our life decisions, look at how we follow the rules and our ethics, look at the commitments that we have made, and if they didn't work out, then Sagittarius gives us the energy in that we are able to be adventurous and try to solve them in a different way using new knowledge that we might not have had before. Um, the energy from the 23rd to the 28th dealing with Lord Ganesha deals with overcoming obstacles, which falls right in line with all of this stuff. It's just absolutely beautiful. The numbers also deal with it. The underlining theme for September deals with faith and trust. You have to also have faith and trust that when you review the things that you have gone through, you are taking responsibility for yourself in a more equal and balanced way. I mean, I could explain this and connect the dots in so many different ways, but basically it's really up to you to feel the energy and work with it. Now, I gave you just the connection of my dots. Now it's your time to connect the dots in your own way and use it to the betterment of you and your loved ones and those around you. I definitely hope I did not confuse you anymore than you might have been confused before this all started, but I did want to give you this information. So, what I am also going to do is I am going to give you some websites that provide even more detailed information on the topics and the energies that I spoke about so that you can read up on it yourself and make your own conclusions. But what I do have to say about all of this, and I hope you come to this conclusion, is this is just the most beautiful time for us to learn and grow. And if you are setting your intentions, if you're letting go of things, if you're doing everything that you need to do, have the faith and the trust that everything that you're doing is working. Because I'm going to tell you this. Although you might not see it on the 3D plane, I guarantee you that it's happening on the 4, 5, 6, and 7. You may not see it manifest itself on the 3D plane as fast as you want to see it because it is so dense here. What happens is your thoughts become things, but they become things on this plane over time. So you have to be consistent. You have to have discipline, which deals with Saturn. If over time you have done things and you see that it has not come to fruition, what you need to do is use that energy of Sagittarius and get some knowledge, get different knowledge on it, and implement that knowledge into a new way of using your discipline so that whatever it is that you want to accomplish may definitely work this time. But like I said, have the faith and the trust that the work that you are doing on this plane will definitely manifest. You just have to keep on going. You have to use the energy of Lord Ganesha to overcome the obstacles. You have to use Mercury Retrograde to sit still with yourself. You have to use the energy of the equinox to balance yourself out. You have to use the energy of Libra to also balance yourself out and to cooperate more with yourself and other people and your spirit guides. Um, it's all about using all of this energy to your benefit, and I know that you will definitely do it. Because I'm going to help you. I'm just going to, send all of you Reiki so that this is going to work out for you. No, I'm just playing. But I know it's going to work out for you because we have no other choice. It's like, there's no other choice for us. It's going to work. It's all about the opportunities and being optimistic. I know it's going to work. So with that being said, I'm going to go because I have to do some reading on another transit that is happening with us on the 25th concerning Pluto. So check out my video on Mercury Retrograde and also Saturn in Sagittarius, and I will be making a video on the transit that Pluto is going to the transit that Pluto will soon be in the next 3 days, which is September 25th. I hope that you enjoyed this video. This is one of the longer videos that I have made, but it is so worth it. I encourage all of you to do what you must do according to your soul's higher call, according to your heart. Live in your heart no matter what, no matter what, no matter what. Use the energy to overcome the obstacles that are in front of you. Be balanced, be loved. I love you all, and I will check you later.